Hello everyone, it's Jesse from PS4 Daily, and today on PSN Weekly we have LEGO Ninjago Nindroids from Hellbent Games and Shower Tales Games. So, LEGO Ninjago Nindroids, as the name implies, is based off the TV series slash LEGO line LEGO Ninjago. The TV series is Ninjago Masters of Spinjitzu, and this game in particular is based on the most recent 6 episodes of the series, Ninjago Rebooted, which is in the 3rd season. So, story-wise, Ninjago Nindroids is rather faithful to the show. It follows the first 6 episodes, as I just mentioned, and the intro segment actually does well to establish what happened, or at least part of what happened in the first 2 seasons. You're not going to get the whole story, obviously, because that would take up way too much time. But if you watched the show and you saw the intro segment in the first episode of Ninjago Rebooted, they basically took that, did a little bit of editing, and slapped it into the game. So I mean, it's a little bare bones in terms of introducing people who haven't actually seen the TV show to the series, but it does what it needs to do, and it's relatively effective. Beyond that, you have your story segments, which are told through cutscenes, which are lifted directly from the TV show. So you're going to see a lot of the TV show cinematics. I believe at E3 they told me it was up to 26 minutes of cinematics taken from the first 6 episodes of the show. So that's nice for you Ninjago fans. I know I enjoyed this since I actually took the time to watch the first 3 seasons of Ninjago before doing this PSN Weekly. Really good series though. If you guys like Legos and if you guys like funny shows in general, funny in action, then I definitely recommend it. It even starts to get into some DBZ territory later on in the show, which kind of caught me off guard. But yeah, so in addition to taking scenes from the TV show, you do have some scenes using the actual Lego models from the game to tell story segments that weren't necessarily in the TV show, but you know, for some of the levels to bridge the gap between story segments and from like episodes and scenes and things like that, you are gonna they do use certain they the voice actors from the show do talk over using their Lego models from the game to introduce the level. That's basically what happens. Combat wise, I guess it's more akin to Lego Marvel than it is Lego Batman 2. I'm gonna be making a lot of comparisons in this PSN Weekly if you guys haven't been able to tell. But yeah, combat wise, it's more akin to Lego Marvel than it is Batman. You don't have the counter system that you did in Batman, which honestly kind of disappointed me. The enemies still light up red, but it's more to indicate that they're about to attack and you should probably dodge than it is that they're about to attack and you should counter. It's not too bad, but when you're in the heat of the moment, you're fighting 5, 6 enemies at once. I did encounter those situations where I was like, dang, I really wish I could counter, because sometimes if they're surrounding you, you can't dodge out of that circle. You have to take them all on at once. Um, so you also have a super system that we first saw in Lego Marvel. The ninjas basically have what you would expect, which would be their spin jitsu move for their special. One thing I found really interesting about that is that I figured out you can use the spin jitsu move without actually having your super bar filled all the way, which brings up some very interesting combo situations and kind of forces you to, you know, balance out when you want to use your spin jitsu move and when you just want to go in all guns blazing. I actually found myself in the Hub World's dojo mode where you get to fight waves of oncoming enemies. I found myself kind of attacking them every so often, then going into a spin jitsu move to finish off like maybe a big horde or something, and then deactivating it just as it got down to maybe halfway down my meter, just so I had another one ready to go when I needed, and I could build up even more spin jutsu when the next horde approached. So it's just things like that that make you really think about how you want to use your spin jitsu move. Beyond that, the other characters in the game each have their own special as well. So far, I've played with a cowboy and a mummy, and cowboy, mummy, and a serpentine character. And I found that unlike unlike the ninjas themselves, they do require you to have your super meter at full to use their super meter or to use their super attack. And honestly, I think some of their super attacks are kind of disappointing. The cowboy, his special is just he just powers up basically. The serpentine character, I'm honestly not too sure what the serpentine character does so far. He releases like a gas around him, so I'm guessing maybe that incapacitates enemies or something. I was in a boss fight when I did this, and the boss was nowhere near me because he was spinning somewhere else in the stage. So that is something I'm gonna have to go back and use and see what exactly it's supposed to do. And the mummy, I haven't actually gotten to use his super either. But in terms of character size, it has a fairly sizable roster. I believe it's at 60 characters, so from what I can tell, it has all the characters you would expect. Has a lot of variations on the main 4 ninjas, and I'm pretty sure you have a lot of Lloyds in there as well. I've seen some more characters just wandering around the hub world taunting me, so that's interesting. And speaking of characters, they are unlocked by collecting the collectibles that you see in the levels themselves and doing the challenges that we saw in LEGO Marvel Superheroes. So that's going to be your challenges where you have to hit an enemy X amount of times, find the mini bricks, I believe it's called, or get the red bricks, or complete the multi challenge. Just things of that nature that kind of really force you to either use more characters, find that character that you're more comfortable with, and really go all out. I did find that for some challenges it is easier to use certain characters than it is others. I used Sensei to actually complete I believe it's the don't get hit or don't it's some challenge in one of the boss fights. I actually like Sensei a lot more than I do the main 4 ninjas, but that's only so far. Mind you, I haven't gotten too far into the game, but that's kind of the point of PSN Weekly. First impressions. Other than that, that's pretty much all I have to say about LEGO Ninjago Nindroids. Has a nice cast so far. Gameplay's solid. There are some frame rate problems when the action gets way too intense, but I've only hit that once in my game, and I've maybe an hour and a half into it, I've gone through 4 or 5 levels, so only hitting that at a certain part, it's not that bad. But if I do hit if it does happen more frequently, expect to see that in my review, which I'm planning to put up on ps4daily.com tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but next week. Yeah, so I guess that's all I have to say for today. Make sure to check out the article for a little bit more things that I might not have discussed in this video. Otherwise, I'm Jessey from ps4daily.com, and I'll see you guys later.
Get to the academy as fast as you can, sis. We need the golden ninja.
What about you guys?
We must protect the people.